When everything is done and dusted on the day of judgment, Shaitan will stand up and he will give a khutbah. Allah says, when a matter is done and dusted, Shaitan will stand up and say, Allah promised you. And Allah's promise was the truth. وَعَدْتُكُمْ فَأَخْلَفْتُكُمْ وَمَا كَانَ لِي عَلَيْكُمْ مِنْ سُلْطَانٍ. He said, I also promised you. I promised you everything. I promise you. Don't do this. Don't go pray salah. You're going to die of poverty. Don't give sadaqah. You got all these aspirations. Start beef with this person. Don't be nice to your in-laws. Your in-laws are just trying to take an undue advantage of you. Don't be nice to your wife. And our Shaitan justified everything for you and I. And to a degree, we justified it for ourselves. He said, Allah promised you and I promise you. The difference, he says, he's giving a khutbah on the day of judgment. He said the difference between my promise and the promise of Allah was that for akhlaftukum, I lied, I reneged on my promise. My promise was just a blag. And then he says, look, Shaitan says, but I had no authority upon you. I had no authority upon you. All I did is call you. Don't do good. Waste your life. Drink. Abuse drugs. Womanize. But I had no authority. All I did is I enticed you. I had called you. He says, then you replied. I called you and you replied. فَلَا تَلُومُونِي وَلُومُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. He said, don't blame me today. Just because you've been suckered, don't blame me. Blame yourself. Blame yourself. Allah promised you, Allah promised you rizq. I promise you faqr. I promise you poverty. Don't do this, don't do that. Don't pray your salah. Don't go for hajj, you're not ready. Don't give your zakah. Don't give your sadaqah. I promise you all that. And Allah promised you. But you listen to my promise more than you listen to the promise of Allah. فَلَا تَلُومُونِي لُومُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. Don't blame me today. Blame yourself. Shaitan will today be bari. He will exonerate himself from every single individual